Oh, nice, a new seller lead. Let's make sure we convert it as fast as possible. That is easier than ever to do using video by inserting video into BombBomb automations that automatically trigger when your lead comes through. Let me show you how you can use those in your business. First, get yourself logged into BombBomb.com, and you're going to need to make sure that wherever your lead is being generated has also been integrated with the BombBomb system. You'd go to the top right-hand corner and click on integrations here. That'll be covered in a different video, but there's lots of different CRMs that you can definitely integrate, a lot of different lead gen sources you can integrate. And what'll happen is you want to make sure any new lead you get is automatically added to your home seller leads list in BombBomb. If you don't already have a list, then make sure you go to contacts and create a new one. We've covered that in another video. Now, what we're going to definitely show you today is how to get the automation set up, and what this will allow you to do is as soon as the lead comes in, they're going to get these emails, which means you're going to minimize the amount of time between the point where they sign up and when you actually respond to them. Doesn't mean you can't send them additional videos, you can't call them, text them, please do all of that as well, but this is going to ensure that you're getting in front of them right away. So what we're going to do is the first thing we need to do actually is to create the emails that will go into the automation. So you got to think about that first. We've actually went ahead and set up several emails already, so we can move through this quickly. I do want to show you one of them really briefly, just so you have an idea of what these emails might look like. So let's go ahead and find our home seller lead conversion email number 1. We'll click on edit. And again, if you'd like to see how to go through and create these emails using the templates, we do have another training on that as well. So once we're in here, you can change the subject line of the email, the pre-header. In this case, we're making sure to mention the person's name in the subject line so that as soon as they register, they're getting that email with their name. And then if we scroll down a little bit further, you can see it's very simple. We've got a video introducing ourselves. In fact, we used one of our video recipes. We've created scripts and templates and instructions on how to make a video to convert a seller lead. So that's the video that we actually inserted here. And then we have some text below it, and you just want to make sure you write a little bit of a message telling people what the next natural step would be, right? Once you've made your emails, you're going to go up here and click on save, right? We don't want to send these yet, so you're going to go ahead and save these, and now you've got these emails ready to go and use in your automation, right? Next thing we're going to do is come up here to the top, and we're looking for the button that says automations. We go ahead and click on that to open it up. Obviously, you need to make sure you've saved that previous email. So once we get into automations, we're going to be creating a new one. If this is your account, you probably don't have any in here yet. So what we look for is right next to where it says automations here at the top, we want to click on new automation. And that's going to open up the tool to create the automations. It's very basic, right? So you're not going to see much of anything when you first open it up. The first thing you have to do is add an email. And that's why we went through and created those emails first, right? So we're going to come in here and we're looking for our home seller lead conversion emails. Here's the one that was the very first one. You want to make sure you select the right one. We just need to locate it and click choose, and that's it, all right? So the first thing that's going to happen when they come in is this first line of text right here is what determines what the automation does with that contact. And right now it says after contact is added to automation, wait 1 day and send at 9 a.m. That's not good. That's not what we want. We need to make a change there. So we're going to click on edit. And what we want this to do is we don't want it to wait at all. So we're going to say wait 0, and then we're going to switch this to minutes. And then you'll see that send scheduled time went away. And so we're going to go ahead and save this. So what this now is going to do is as soon as that lead hits the automation, as soon as it comes into the BombBomb system, it's going to send this first email, all right? That's what we want. Now, this first email goes out, great, but we want to actually create a series here, right? Because they might miss the first email, or maybe they open it, but they don't have a chance to actually watch the video or even read the text. So we want to make sure we continue to follow up, right? It takes anywhere from 7, sometimes many more touches to convert a lead, right? So it's good to have several of those touches automated. The next thing we're going to do then is just come down here and click on add email, all right? In this case, we want to select the second email in our home seller lead conversion series. So that one is right here. We're going to click on choose and then look in between, right? This is where you're determining how long it's going to wait. So in this case, it says after previous email is sent, wait 0 minutes. That's also not good, right? We want to make sure that there's a little bit of a break here. And in fact, typically what I'm going to recommend is we just give it 1 day. We're going to bump that up to 1. We're going to switch it to days. And then we can decide when we want that email to send. I like to send emails in the morning. People tend to read those emails sometimes even in bed before they get out of bed. So I'm going to go ahead and switch this to, why don't we say 6:30 a.m. and we're going to save it. So now what's going to happen is that lead's going to come in, it's going to send them an initial email, it's going to wait a day, and then it's going to send it at 6:30 a.m. that following morning, all right? And then finally, if we want to add a third email, we come in here, we select that email, and then we can also make adjustments to when it is going to send. In this case, it's waiting a day and sending it at 6:30 again, so it's just going to send it the next morning, and that is fine with me, all right? And that's it. At this point, you have your automation set up. Now, to finish creating the system, you need to come up here to the top right-hand corner next to where it says Start, and we're going to click on the little drop-down menu, all right? There's a few things that we can do here. We can add contacts directly. So if we want just one individual to go through this automation, let's say maybe you already have a lead you got and this wasn't set up ahead of time, you can manually add them by clicking on Add Contacts. You can also manage which lists are associated with this automation. So let's go ahead and click on Manage Lists for just a second here. And you're going to see when this first comes up, you won't have any lists. So what that means is that unless you set up this step, the automation's never going to trigger for anyone automatically. So we come in here, we click on the plus, and then we just need to find the list that we want to use. Let's go ahead and scroll down a little bit. Here it is, Seller Leads. That's the one I want. All right, and then it's going to also give us the option for adding new list contacts to this automation. Yes, so anytime we're going to get a new contact added to that list, we want this to trigger. And then do we want to send the current list contacts through the automation? Typically you don't, right? Because if you had any leads already in here, you don't want them to start receiving these emails. They might be a few months old even, right? So they don't need to receive an email introducing yourself right at the top. So we're only going to check that first box, and then we're going to click on Add, right? Now we can see that list under our lists here, and that is ready to go. So we'll X out of that. We'll come back to the menu here next to the Start button just to make sure we didn't miss anything else. The next few things you can do here is you can look at completed contacts. Those are people who have been through this automation. You can see a list of them. You can duplicate the automation if you ever have a need to make a slight different version of it. You can embed it, and you can also delete it, all right? So those are the options there. The one you really need to focus on when you're first getting set up is the Manage Lists button, right? Because you got to make sure your lists are in here. Now, once that's done, all I got to do is come up here and click on Start, all right? And that's we're gonna save it and start. And now that automation is live, okay? So again, as long as you set up that integration at the beginning with your lead gen source or your CRM, whichever you choose, they're gonna automatically come in here. This automation is gonna trigger, and it's gonna start sending those emails to all of those people. And before you exit out of here, one thing I wanna make sure to mention is you can change the name of the automation by simply clicking on it, right? So in this case, we probably wanna change this to Seller Lead Conversion Emails, and we'll go ahead and save the name, and now it's ready to go, right? So somebody hits your CRM, they come in as a lead on your website, whatever it is, wherever that lead is coming from, you're now set up to automatically start converting them as soon as they come in, which is extremely powerful. Please remember, this does not mean you cannot still reach out to them yourself. It doesn't mean you cannot send other types of contact information, whatever it is, right? But this is gonna make sure that you're automated and those people are gonna start hearing from you right away, all right? And that's how you set up an automation using the BombBomb system.